We live. We out here.
Coming to you in front of a live studio audience.
Wow, I could tell those words were hard for you.
Yeah.
Yep. We're very tired. We have two very sick children.
Yeah.
It's been a rough week, but we're here for you guys. We do this for you. You're welcome. I'm not even being that loud.
You don't have to be right up on the microphone, though. You can be back just a
then I'm
little
gonna move
bit.
around, and at least if I'm like up on it, then if I move around, it's still picking up my voice.
This is our kids made us watch this.
Apologize for the technical jargon. I'm Jera.
And I'm Colin with a K.
And today we're going to be talking about, this is actually going to be a two-parter, our first two-parter. We are going to be talking about every parent's favorite movie, Frozen.
It's a Disney classic already somehow.
Somehow. Well, it came out, the first one came out in 2013. Did you know that?
It doesn't feel like it's that old.
It feels like
but it really is
came
that
out
old.
Yesterday because it's everywhere still to this day.
I mean, it was so popular. They didn't they like rush build stuff in Disneyland to get like a Frozen attraction in there?
I don't know if they rush built it, but there is going to be a Frozen land opening. It's not there yet.
Oh, I thought it was just like some sort of a ride or attraction, not necessarily a whole section of Disneyland. Disney World.
No,
I mix up the two all the time.
Well, there might be like a Frozen ride, but they're making a. Don't do it.
That's doing it to me.
Oh, but they're making a Frozen land.
Arendelle.
Yep, there you go. Okay, so I guess a brief overview of the movie for those who don't know or haven't seen it, which I feel like is literally nobody.
Throw some plot and some lore at you.
Yeah. Okay,
I love my lore.
If you don't know, where have you been? Frozen is about two sisters. One of them has magical powers. One of them does not. Sorry, you're still wearing headphones. I think you just gave me the weirdest look. Sorry, two sisters. One has powers. One does not. One of them falls in a freak magic
Okay,
accident.
you say powers, but you need to explain what her powers are.
She has ice powers.
So just think like Frozone from The Incredibles,
Yeah.
or
Good example.
What's the X-Man's name?
Mr. Freeze.
That's a Batman villain.
I know.
But yeah, she just can conjure snow and ice, basically.
But her powers start to kind of get out of control, and she ends up hurting her sister.
Boom, headshot.
Yeah, and so her parents take her sister to these trolls in the woods.
The love gurus.
Yes, the love gurus. And they have them erase all memory of magic from Anna.
Doesn't really erase. They kind of
but it
distort.
It doesn't erase the memories.
Yeah, they
of
distort
Elsa
it to get rid of the magic.
Yes. While they try to control Elsa's magic, though they don't really like teach her anything about it. They just go, put on some gloves and don't leave your room.
They have a spray bottle like, no, bad.
Yeah, exactly. They're great parents, really. We probably should not be speaking ill of them because then they die. And then the girls are left alone. It's
not a Disney movie without some parents dying.
Without some dead parents.
Yeah.
I mean, I gotta give it to them because most of the Disney movies are just dead moms. I'm a little offended by that, but so at least it was both of them. Not that that's better.
Wow.
We're not advocating for parental deaths.
If people die in movies, it has to be two people.
Yeah, there you go. Anywho, so their parents die, and then they are left alone in the castle, and Elsa never comes out because she never learned how to control her powers, and she doesn't want her sister to know about them. And then the day comes that she, I assume, turns 18 because she has a coronation, and I don't know why they would wait until now to do it if that wasn't the reason. But Elsa turns 18. She has a coronation.
Takes over the kingdom.
Yep. And the gates to their kingdom have been closed this whole time. And so they finally open them for the coronation to invite all the other palaces and people
A
in.
wonderful song takes place. Who knew we had 1,000 salad plates?
For the first time in forever.
Yeah.
I was like, I know what it is, but I can't think of the name. Yes. This is a musical Disney movie. If you didn't already know, you know.
Like all Disney movies.
Everybody knows what this movie is about. I mean, let's be honest. Even if you haven't seen it, you know what it's about. But anywho, so they open up the gates, everybody comes in, and then this guy comes in, and Anna's like, ooh, I've never seen a man before. And so that's what I feel like. It was the first man that like spoke to her, and she was like,
she had like an instant nosebleed.
Yeah.
Her heart was coming out of her chest.
Yeah, it got real anime for a second.
Her jaw dropped to the floor.
Yeah, and they sang a song about finishing each other's
sandwiches. That's what I was gonna say.
And it was, just straight to marriage from there. They didn't talk about really anything. Did she know his last name? No. But they're getting married.
Of the Southern Isles.
There you go. That is a joke in the movie. And what?
What's his middle? Wasn't it his best friend's name? Probably John.
Yeah. Yeah. So there's. We'll get to that guy there, who is my favorite Disney prince.
You get all up in that microphone.
I'm all up in a face. I just love it so much. I love the gratification the mic gives me.
Gross. Moving on.
Sorry you guys had to witness that. But Anna goes to tell Elsa, hey, I'm going to marry this dude I just fucking met. And for the first time, I feel like in any Disney movie, someone was like, you can't do that.
Common sense.
Yeah. No. So she's like, well, you can't tell me what to do. And she's like, well, I'm the fucking queen, bitch. I can tell you to do whatever I want you to do. So she's like, you can't marry him. And she gets angry.
She straight up says, if you don't like it, then leave.
Yeah.
And I was just like, damn. What a baller.
She said it with her chest. She meant it. And so then Anna tries to get her to turn around, and she accidentally grabs one of her gloves. And so then Elsa's angry, so her powers are like
out of control.
Yeah. So everybody sees that, and they're like, what the fuck is that? Because apparently this is a world where most people don't have magic.
She's a witch.
Yeah. And so then she runs out into like the courtyard, and then there's the townspeople, and they're like, oh my god, the fucking queen. And then she freezes something else, and they're like, heathen, and
burn her at the stake.
And so she runs off, and she gives us the song that everyone heard for years and years to come, and we still can't escape it.
You're still hearing
it. Movie number 2, and it is, of course, Let It Go, Let It Go.
I can't let the song go.
Can't hold it back anymore.
It keeps following me.
It will never go away. I don't know. So now we've got the second movie. Now we've got Into the Unknown, but I feel like it's just gonna be Amelia literally. Have you ever heard her? She sometimes mashes them together. Yeah. So she sings "Let It Go" and then turns it into the unknown
from the second Frozen movie.
Yeah, which is quite entertaining because
let it go, let it go. Oh.
Yeah, into the unknown, and I'm like, oh, okay, mashup, remix, yeah, which is quite fun. But so she sings this song, and she builds herself an ice palace and makes herself a dress out of ice.
She doesn't feel cold. The cold doesn't bother her anymore. Or no, it was the cold never bothered me anyway.
But I guess I get it, but I don't. Because she has
because it was an ice dress. Like, do you think?
I mean, they can't see that, so you could go ahead, let them know what you're doing.
Do you think she had like erect nipples because it was an ice dress?
I just don't know how you thought that was gonna land. But Disney didn't animate it, so I'm gonna go with no. Imagine just watching the whole Frozen movie. Her nipples are just hard as rocks. We're very tired. I'm so sorry.
We're mature adults that have children.
Very. So after she makes her ice palace and her
Wonderful song.
Yeah, and her dress out of, I don't know, other magic that she's apparently not only has ice powers, she has dressmaking powers, because she does that multiple times.
Yes.
But after she does that, we go back to Anna, and she's like, hey, new fiance, I need you to look over this whole kingdom for me, even though we just met today. And then she goes off, and she's like, I gotta go find my sister. I don't know why I'm talking like this.
Stop looking at the screen.
That's not why. It's just a weird.
My eyes are over here.
So, yeah, she goes off to find her sister, and she ends up at Oaken's trading post. Yoo-hoo, big summer blowout. One of the best
character
lines in the movie. Fun fact about this character. First fun fact of the episode. If we had a theme song, it would not be that. So apparently the guy who voiced Oaken, his name was Chris Williams. He went on to direct Big Hero 6, which Big Hero 6 came out after Frozen.
I feel like Big Hero 6 has been out forever.
I feel like it came out before Frozen. That's one of my favorite Disney movies, and I think we will do an episode on that because it's so fucking awesome, and it doesn't get the love that it deserves.
And Amelia does like it.
That's not what we're here to talk about, I guess. But yeah, so he went on to direct that movie, which I think is interesting.
It really was a big summer blowout.
It was. He knew what was coming. Also, people do assume that Oaken is a openly gay Disney character. There's really never been any confirmation of that.
Is that kind of like how Elsa was considered a lesbian by some because there was no...
Well, she wasn't considered a lesbian, but people wanted her to be a lesbian.
That's what I meant, because she didn't have a romance storyline, so everyone's like, oh, she's a lesbian, that's why.
Yeah. Also, we are LGBTQIA+. No,
Is that what it is now?
Well,
I thought you were just throwing random things out.
No, you don't have to say all the letters. I could have shortened that, but we are LGBT+ friendly here, so don't leave hate comments or I will fucking come to your house and cry and tell you not to do that anymore. Anywho, because there's in the scene where she gets to Oaken's trading post, he talks about how he has a sauna and his family's in there, and there's a guy and a bunch of other little kids.
What is it? It says hello family.
Yoo-hoo. Or
is it yoo-hoo or hello? No. Hello family.
No, it was yoo-hoo family, and then they all go
yoo-hoo.
I don't know why it's so funny, but it's great. Yeah, so they assume that is his husband and his children, and they're a whole big, happy, gay family.
I never caught that.
Yeah, I
just thought it was a silly accent that they gave to him because he was on screen for like 2 minutes, so why not give him a silly accent?
Wait, are you saying
Oaken.
he had the accent because he was gay?
No,
I'm confused.
I don't know. I'm just talking. I haven't gotten much sleep this whole week.
That. So sorry, guys.
I thought you made a comment about him being a certain
I feel like this is not going to a place that
No, I was going to say like Norwegian or something.
Oh.
Ethnicity.
I don't know. They're in Norway.
That's what I meant. Yeah, so I thought they just I don't know.
I don't know what you were thinking.
I don't know what I was thinking. Just continue.
Yeah. Okay. This is rough. I thought the other ones were rough. This is actually rough. Anywho, so yoo-hoo. So then they move on. Oh, she's in Oaken's trading post, and the best male lead comes in.
Good friend Kristoff.
Good friend. Colin calls him good friend Kristoff. There's a Frozen book we have, and it calls him.
He's a good friend.
Yeah,
Kristoff.
Good friend. I'm making quotation marks because they fucking they more than friends. And so
friends with benefits.
Yeah, good friend Kristoff comes in and he's all surly and so we find out he's in the ice business.
He delivers ice from the mountains down to the village.
Yeah. And
now that everything's frozen, his business is kind of gone south.
Yeah, a little bit.
Who needs ice when it's a permanent winterland?
Yeah. Kind of sucks, dude. Kind of sucks. So Anna's like, oh, hey, you got a sled. You got a cool fucking reindeer. I need you to take me to my sister. And he's like, no. And then she convinces him to change his mind because she bought some things and she's like, here's this. I'm buying you. And so then he decides to take her to her sister. And on the way, they meet the most annoying side character in a long time.
Disney always has a thing where in their movies they tend to have like a comedic relief side character.
Like everybody was pretty funny in the movie.
Right, but like they tend to have that comedic relief character, and usually they're pretty funny.
Yeah.
Or, you know, like Mushu and Mulan is kind of that role.
He is,
but like,
he's the best.
He's a great character and everybody loves him.
Mm-hmm.
But Olaf, the snowman, I hate him. And I want to murder him.
I assume it's because, you know, like I'm gonna talk a little bit about the second movie here.
Not too much.
No, not
we
really.
We don't want to give away what we're
really
gonna say.
Spoilers or anything, but like in the second movie, he seems a little bit more aware, and he's got like these deep philosophical moments because he's supposed to be like he's been sentient for a while.
They wrote him differently.
Well, I think it's because it's supposed to be more like he's like growing up. Like in the first movie, he had just come alive out of nowhere, and he's like, I don't know what the world is. I feel like that's why it was kind of supposed to be a little bit annoying because he's like a child. We love our children, but they are kind of annoying. He's kind of like a child who's like, I don't understand how like the world works, but how anything works. But some of the jokes that he says, even if you take that into consideration, are still kind of annoying. Like he just makes
his entire existence just grates on me. Just makes me wanna punch a wall.
Wow. Okay, Kyle.
The drywall's closing in. I gotta punch my way out.
I mean, I guess I don't think he's that bad, but I don't love him. But yeah, so they meet Olaf along the way, and he sings a song about how in the summer he's going to have lots and lots of fun, and honestly it's my least favorite song in the movie.
He wants to know what it's like to be warm instead of cold.
Yeah, don't really need to talk about it that much. And so we move on to them getting to the ice palace and finding Elsa, and
just knock on the door. Just knock.
Yeah, do you think she knows how to
just knock? I don't think she knows how to knock.
Oh, okay. But you're telling an Olaf joke.
That one was funny the first time I heard it. I did actually think it was funny.
Okay.
He has like one or two moments in the movie that I thought were funny. The rest of the time he's just annoying.
Okay, if you say so. It just sounds like you don't really hate him as much as you say you do.
The second movie redeemed him. Okay. So it made me hate him less than the first movie.
I don't think that's how that works, but okay. So they find Elsa. Anna goes in and she's like, no, sisters, come home.
Just come back.
Yeah, oh my God. It's just not that serious. I know that you've had to live in secrecy your entire fucking life, but like, it's just not that big a deal. Oh, and then she's like, oh, by the way, you plunged the whole region into
eternal
winter. And she's like, now I just need you to like fix that.
She said that they sang that song, and she's like, Arendelle's in deep shit.
Not what she says, because this is a children's movie.
It was a different 4-letter S word.
Snow. Yeah. It was snow.
But she meant shit.
Pretty much. Yeah, and Elsa's like, bitch, I just started using these powers. I know I built a whole fucking kingdom, but you think I know how to reverse an eternal winter? Because she doesn't. So she's like, no, I literally can't do that. Also, I just kind of don't care. I'm going to hang out here. You go home.
Wakanda forever. Basically is what she said. But her ice castle.
What did that have to do?
Just keep going.
With Frozen.
It works in my brain. I'm not going to explain it to you. Just go.
I just hate what you're doing right now. Anywho, so she sticks a giant, like abominable snowman and like a literal
a snow golem.
Yeah, that's what it was. A snow golem on them. And he knocks them down and all that.
And he says, "Get out."
Fun.
Or go away.
So, I don't know.
Piss off.
Yeah, I mean, I'm recapping this movie strictly because I've seen it so many times, but it never really left an impression with me. Like, I watched it, before we let Amelia watch it. Yes, I say let Amelia watch it because we knew once we let her watch it, that was all we were going to be watching for the next 10 years. And we were right. But I watched it first and I just didn't think that it didn't wow me. But everybody totes it as like this really awesome film and like the first of its kind and yada yada. But anywho, we'll talk about that in a little bit. So what was I talking about?
They got tossed out of the ice palace.
Yeah, what happens after that? Like, I know how the movie ends, but for some reason there's like a blank space in there.
Isn't it you get warped back to the kingdom and the dude from Weaseltown is just like, we need to send a search party. We're worried about Princess Anna.
Yes, that's
and then he's told his two guys, like, you guys go with, kill that bitch if you run into her, just straight up murder her.
Yeah, pretty much. So then he sends his troops and they go and they actually do manage to get Elsa and
they get to the ice castle.
Yeah.
And there's a little bit of a fight.
Mm-hmm.
She could have wasted all those fools, but she was being nice.
Well, because I think he mentioned Anna too, how something about Anna left to go find her and she's in danger and yada yada. I don't know, a bunch of fucking lies because he's a fucking liar. And so then she, goes back with them and she's like, I want to see my sister. And he's like, your sister doesn't want to see you. More lies. But also this is so random and will not matter, I guess, for anyone who's never seen the show Crazy Ex-Girlfriend. You have not seen it. I have. It's great. If you like musical theater and generally fucking funny shows, you should watch it. But the guy who voices Prince Hans, I was trying to remember if that was the right name. Prince Hans, his name is Santino Fontana, and he played a character on Crazy Ex-Girlfriend alongside another character who played Kristoff in Once Upon a Time's segment about Frozen. And there are other connections, but I can't remember them right now, and I'm not going to fucking look it up. But I thought it was interesting that they both played Frozen characters and they were on the same show together. Anywho, so he takes her back. And then Anna comes back and she's like, oh no, I'm missing a whole section of the movie. They went and saw the trolls.
Yeah, because Elsa accidentally shot Anna again with her ice magic.
In the heart.
And this time, it got her in the heart and it started freezing her from the inside.
Yeah. And
her hair was starting to go white. So they had to go see the trolls, or as Kristoff called them, the love gurus.
Love experts.
Love experts, to go attempt to reverse the spell or stop it or slow it down or something.
Yeah. And so they get there and the trolls sing a very fun song. And they try to marry Anna and Kristoff against their will.
They were like one I do away from being married.
Yeah, away from being married.
Because they legit they set up a wedding.
They did the whole ceremony.
One of them was
an
officiant, and they're just like
and she's like, what's going on? And he's like, you're getting married, darling. She was like, what?
There was one part in the song where Kristoff's like, but she's engaged, and then one of the trolls is like, I don't see a ring.
They were like, listen. So anyway, they tell her that in order to reverse the frozen heart thing, she has to have true love's kiss. So she goes back to the palace. Yeah.
I need Hans to make out with him.
I need the guy that I spoke to for like 5 seconds and sang one song with to kiss me, because that's obviously the guy I love.
Kristoff was asking her all those questions about Hans when he found out she was engaged, and one of them was what's his best friend's name, and she goes, probably John.
Yeah.
And the what's his last name of the Southern Isles.
Well, and he was like, haven't your parents ever warned you about strangers? And so she like scoots further away from him, and she's like, yes. I mean, honestly, Kristoff's like,
he's good friend Kristoff.
He is like the best character in the entire movie. So she goes back to try to find Hans to give her a kiss, and she ends up in, she goes into this room by the fire to try to warm up, and he comes in, and this whole time, this motherfucker has pretended that he loves her. But he has common sense and doesn't fall in love with people he just fucking met. And
well, he lets it go that he was like, what, 8th or something in the royal line for his royal family. So he's like, I never had a chance at my kingdom. So all I needed to do was find some like desperate woman in a different royal family, and he's like, so I found you. You were second in line, and we're gonna kill Elsa because she's a witch. So
exactly,
and then you're dying already, so I can just let you die, and look at that, I'm king.
Yeah, there you go, because you left me in charge and now you're dead. But because his line when he like, sorry, apparently I have something on my face. His line when he like goes in to kiss her, because he's like still pretending. She's like, yeah, all I need is like true love's kiss. And he leans in and he goes, oh, that's wonderful. If only someone loved you. It was like,
and then
damn, dude.
You could hear, it was really faint in the background, but like because the window was open, you could just hear, oh.
Yeah, there were just all the people of Arendelle just in the background like, shit. So he fucking leaves. Anna is freezing. Elsa's locked in chains
in a dungeon, and
Kristoff is riding away, and he talks to his reindeer. The reindeer does not actually talk.
Kristoff does the talking for the reindeer.
Yes. So his reindeer convinces him to go back because obviously he loves Anna, saw that coming. So, he goes back, and Anna manages to get out of the room.
What happens?
She saw Kristoff coming, and then she did. She managed to get out of the room.
Olaf shows up.
Yeah.
And finds Anna dying, and he's like, well, let's put a fire in the fireplace because Hans put it out so she would freeze faster, and he's melting away. And he said, sometimes things are worth melting for. Trying to be all corny, and it didn't work. I didn't like it.
Oh my god.
But yeah, they see Kristoff coming, and she's like, oh my god, I need to make out with Kristoff now. Yeah. Just jumping from man to man, looking for somebody.
Wow, you sound a little jaded. Who hurt you?
Everyone.
Hi, your wife's sitting right here.
Everyone but you.
Better. So she gets out of the room.
I think that they jump out the window, and she kind of like slides down the roof.
Sure, we'll go with that. So then she ends up on the frozen fjord.
Because at this point in time, when Hans and Anna are talking and she's dying, Anna is in the dungeon, and Elsa is in the dungeon, and she uses her ice powers to like deep freeze everything so she can break the chains, and then makes a hole in the wall somehow, and that freezes the fjord.
Don't think too hard about it. She has powers. That's all you need.
She just starts running out onto the frozen water to get away, and because she's kind of freaking out at this point, like a blizzard is starting at the same time.
And Hans had told her that Anna was dead, so she was like, "Oh, I've killed my own sister," and she was like, "I really don't deserve to be here." So she was
said, "It's your fault. You killed her."
Yeah, so she was just gonna like fucking leave. And he was like, "No, I need you dead." And so, he goes out there, and Anna
guilt trips her some more.
Yeah, and at first Anna is running towards Kristoff, but then
for a makeout session.
She saw Elsa out on the fjord, and Hans was
had a sword.
He
was gonna cap a
He
fool.
was gonna like decapitate him.
Yeah.
It was gonna get real dark real quick. And so then she's like, "Fuck you, Kristoff. I'm going to my sister."
She did want to fuck him though, so not in a mean way.
Yes. I don't. Your jokes are just not hitting today. You know what? Maybe they are for some people. There's probably someone who's listening to this and is like, "Hey yo," but it's not me.
I appreciate you.
So, Anna goes over and she is turning to ice at this point.
This scene, Amelia has, I don't know if she does it with you, but she has me reenact it with her all the time.
She has me also reenact it with her. So she pretends to be...
Hans is swinging his sword down ready to kill Elsa, and Anna runs in front of the sword, puts her hand up, and
just as she's turning to ice.
She's like, no.
Apparently like impenetrable ice.
Yeah, and then she turns to ice, which stops the sword.
It breaks. And
we do this scene over and over and over with Amelia.
Yeah, and then obviously Elsa's really upset, so it gets super like, it's like a blizzard starts happening, and you know, Hans gets like lost, and then Elsa is obviously sad, so then she hugs Anna, and a single tear rolls down her cheek.
The biggest cliche ever.
And
happens in this movie.
Onto Anna, and so Anna unfreezes and
dethaws.
Unthaws.
Yeah.
She
get a little more Wisconsin for you.
Yeah. Yeah. She unthaws, and obviously they hug, and then they say, "Yo, Hans, go shovel some manure somewhere else." They like exile him, and yeah, and the movie ends happily ever after. The bad guy's gone. Elsa somehow all of a sudden has really good control of her powers, even though she wasn't using them for like 18 years
Don't
of her
think about
life.
it. You're thinking too hard.
Sorry. I know. Kids movie. Not supposed to think. And so Anna ends up with Kristoff.
Good friend Kristoff.
She bought him a new sled because she got that kind of money.
It started on fire and then fell down a cliff. And then exploded upon impact.
Yeah, it was rough.
And then, no, I got that backwards. It was on fire and it fell down the cliff, and then it just did a big crash. And then it like exploded after a comment from Olaf. He made a comment, and then it just goes.
Yeah. So she bought him a new sled.
And deemed him the Ice Master of Arendelle.
Sure. Well, I don't think that was the title, but yeah, we'll go with it.
Well, then what was it?
It wasn't Ice Master.
Well, it sounds like a badass title. I'd want to be an Ice Master.
I mean, it does sound like a badass title, but it wasn't his title. Don't know what it was. Sure. Ice Master. The Ice Master of Arendelle. And then they kiss, and it's all great and dandy. Yeah, and that's a movie for you. So, again, I don't think that it was...
Not a terrible movie, but in both of our minds, it's a tad overrated.
Yeah, it doesn't quite deserve all of the praise that it got. And I feel like...
It's still a good movie, though.
I need to look something up, because I feel like everybody was always like, it's the first movie with, like, a protagonist that, like, doesn't end up with the man or whatever. But let me learn you something right now. Let's talk about fucking Mulan, because very technically... There's no, like, official we together in that movie.
No, but it's insinuated at the end because he shows up at the family farm and he's like, is Mulan here? Because let's bone.
Okay, great. That's nice. Didn't officially happen, though.
But it's heavily insinuated.
Let's talk about the fact that Disney's Brave came out in 2012. Not a single person in that movie ended up with anyone.
That whole storyline is about her not wanting to go down that road.
Thank you. That came out in 2012. Frozen came out in 2013. So why the fuck didn't Brave get the praise that Frozen got? Excuse me?
Because she was a redhead.
I mean, I don't understand. It doesn't make sense.
People just conveniently forgot that movie existed the year prior.
I guess so. And they were like, oh, it's about sisterly love and it's just so great. But, like, I mean, the songs were fun, so I will give them that. You know, they made some bangers, but other than that, I just could take it or leave it. I prefer the second one much, much more. But yeah. I do have some fun facts.
Can I tell you some fun facts first?
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
I know I've told you, I think I might have told you all of these, honestly, but
very possibly, but you haven't told them.
I got these. I'm going to recycle them from a YouTube video. I watch a series called Fact Fiend all the time, and I highly recommend you guys go watch it. It's just interesting. It's about anything and everything. But he had a whole episode on Frozen, and
as one does. Here we are.
So one of the things he mentioned was the movie, when they started writing the script and were like actually making the movie, everybody thought that young girls that would watch this movie would really connect with relate to Anna a lot more, because this movie is technically about Anna. She is technically the main character, and boy were they wrong.
Massively.
But at the same time, they were so confident in this thought process that all these girls were going to relate to Anna and like Anna. When it came to designing merchandise, they had zero Elsa merchandise planned at first, before like any trailers or anything were released.
Okay.
They had zero Elsa merchandise planned, because apparently it came up in a meeting where someone's like, why don't we make some of this? And they're just like, nobody's going to care about Elsa. It's an Anna movie. They're going to like Anna better. They're going to want to be Anna. And again, boy, were they wrong. And they're probably so glad they made that Elsa merchandise.
Okay, I believe that fact, but at the same time, they gave her the one song that they made the hit of the movie.
Which is another fact I got for you. The song Let It Go. So this is way back in the early makings of this movie, like before, I believe, very rough scripts were written, like nothing was in stone. Whoever was working on the music for that movie, whatever group or people, I think it was two guys, they wrote Let It Go because they didn't really have a direction of the script or anything. They were just writing songs to write songs, and they wrote Let It Go, and they gave it to one of the head management executives or whatever on the team, and that guy liked that song so much, the rough demo, that was the only thing he apparently listened to for like the next 2 weeks. And he showed it to like his kids, his family, all his friends, and everybody loved that song so much. So he came back like 2 weeks later, and he told the people writing the scripts, this song has to be in the movie. And the people that were writing the script at the time were just like, how are we going to do that?
Where the hell do we fit this in?
Because at that point in time, the script was
Anna Citric.
Well, it still was.
I heard she was originally supposed to be a villain.
Elsa was going to be a villain.
Yeah.
She was going to be an Ice Queen villain.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
So they're just like, wait a second, how are we going to fit Let It Go, which is more of a kind of
liberation type song.
Yeah, it's not, because every Disney movie that has singing in it, the villain gets a song, and it's very villainy.
Well, yeah.
And that one is not, obviously. So they were struggling. They're just like, how are we gonna make our villain sing this very positive, liberating song that isn't really about I'm going to kill you or I'm gonna steal the kingdom? Or so they ended up having to rewrite the script from wherever they were at to make that song work. So they completely ditched Anna being an evil ice queen, and they had to bring in other elements to make it what it is now. And I thought that was really interesting.
That like essentially they wrote the entire movie around that song, which,
yeah,
I mean, makes sense because we're still fucking hearing this song how many years later?
Too many years later.
Yeah, 7 years later. Yikes. So any other fun facts you got?
I think that's all I got for now.
Okay. I honestly, I wish I could, I don't know, you probably can't find it. I'm like, I wish there was just like a Disney go ahead and leak the script of what it was when Elsa was the evil queen, because I would be down to read that. I do enjoy the movie that is, but
even if it's just like 2 or 3 pages, just like give us something.
Give me
That'd be so cool.
I'd love to see like what it would have been if she'd been evil.
Or it's a similar thing with the original Toy Story. When they started writing that originally, Woody was planned to be like an absolute asshole. He was going to be just a dick of a character, and they
decided to make Buzz a dick instead.
I
still love Buzz
they got
Lightyear,
as far as like storyboarding for Toy Story with that Woody being a dick, and then they're just kind of like, this isn't going to work, and then they just basically scrapped everything and reworked it. Thank God they did.
Yeah,
because we got 4 awesome movies now.
Well, have you watched the whole of Toy Story 4?
Bits and pieces, but I got the general idea of it.
Same. Okay, so this is a good one because fucking feminism. Director Jennifer Lee was the first woman to direct a Disney animated feature. They'd never had a female director before 2013. And I bet you she wasn't nominated for an Oscar because fuck the Oscars. This is one you might be interested in. Anybody who's like a tech geek or cares about animation. They had to actually develop an entire program just for Elsa's hair.
Oh, to make it natural and move naturally?
Because of the braid, she had so many more moving parts or something like that.
Well, yeah, because it's not going to move as one giant chunk.
Yeah, so they had to literally create a program. It's called Tonic, just to do her hair. And actually, it took more time, and there's more into Elsa's hair than there was for Rapunzel's hair in Tangled, even though she has more of it.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Also, since we were talking about Let It Go, it was written in a day.
Well, I mean, like I said, though, they didn't really have a direction of the script, so they were just writing songs to write songs.
And I want to applaud those guys, because the fact that they wrote two people.
I think it was 2 people. Wrote
this song in a day. It took 7 people to write Justin Bieber's Yummy.
Ooh,
So
call them out.
I'm just saying, maybe Justin, you should hire these guys. I don't know. We said his album was apparently pretty good. I haven't listened to it, so ignore that. But also, Yummy's not a good song. You can fight me on that. And wow, you're bringing up facts that work, because it actually went on to surpass Toy Story 3 as the highest grossing animated film at the time, as well as the highest grossing musical film before being surpassed by the remake of The Lion King in 2019, because it had fucking Beyonce in it. Like, okay, come on. We knew it was going to be.
It was a pointless remake.
It just came on Disney Plus, and I think I'm going to watch it tonight, probably after you go to bed. You don't have to fucking watch it with me.
I'm not going to.
That's fine. Just because I want to hear Beyonce voice Nala. I did not go into and see it in theaters because I refused to go and see any of these remakes, because it's the same exact movie, just animated differently. I didn't go see Aladdin. I didn't go see Lion King. We
saw Beauty and the Beast, though. I remember we went and saw that.
Because I went and saw it, I think, with my mom. And so I gave it a pass.
I remember watching that in a movie theater, and I would not have went by myself.
Did we?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was you and me.
Oh. Well, that was like at the start of all of the remakes. So I was like, all right, they're doing this one. That's cool. And Beauty and the Beast was my favorite Disney movie when I was a child, so lay the fuck off.
0 to 100 real quick there.
I'm a little offended.
I didn't even say anything bad about the movie. You're coming at me like that?
Yes.
God.
Because you're calling me out. But I might cave and go see Mulan because it's a different story. Yeah, so that I will give them. Like, if you give me a different story, you might get me.
And if you ask me, Mulan is the best Disney princess, even though she's not technically a princess. Jera, she has the highest kill count out of all the princesses.
I mean, yeah.
She is the baddest bitch. How many Huns did Ariel kill?
I mean, so also...
None.
She gets included with the Disney princesses. She's not a princess.
No, that's weird, though.
People forget that all the time. It's because she's an iconic female lead.
It was a huge movie.
She was not a princess, so... That's kind of awesome.
Also, random fact, because you brought up Disney princesses, that is a separate brand within Disney. It's Disney Princesses. And there is one weird stipulation for anything that has multiple Disney princesses on them. They are not allowed to look at each other. They can't make eye contact. They can't acknowledge that the other ones exist because they're not supposed to be in the same universe. Like, all these Disney movies do not exist on, like, one fictional planet.
Okay, so I'm going to fact check that because we've talked about this before. Because I have had Disney products. I had this really cool tea set when I was younger, and it was a Disney Princess tea set. Officially licensed. Great. It talked to you, and it had all of the Disney princesses, and they like talked to each other when you were having.
I'm just saying they can't look at each other.
But also, let's talk about Wreck-It Ralph then.
Yeah,
the scene
there's
with
a whole scene.
all of the Disney princesses.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure at some point they look at each other.
They might have changed it. But again, off that video that I referenced, the Fact Fiend one, that was another thing he referenced where...
So it could have been a thing at a point, but I don't know. I guess maybe if I go rewatch the Wreck-It Ralph scene, maybe they don't look at each other.
Because I
don't know
he showed a picture of a backpack that had like 5 princesses on it, and they're all just like staring off in the distance, and like they all have their backs to each other, and it's just like, this is kind of weird. Why can't they just look at each other? Like,
maybe it's
give me one where they're high-fiving each other.
Yeah, maybe it's on like specific like merchandise.
Maybe. I don't know.
Because that could be it. Because usually when you buy, like we even got that book from the library, and they're all always kind of like
staring off in the distance,
but, like,
yeah.
not with each other. So maybe. I got sidetracked. Because Frozen also ranks as the 16th highest grossing film of all time.
I believe it.
The highest grossing film of 2013. And the third highest grossing film in Japan, which also I'd like to know what number 1 and 2 are.
Well, have you heard Let It Go in different languages?
No.
There's a YouTube video where
I might have heard like some snippet.
There's a YouTube video where they take like, it's like one sentence at a time, and they do it in like 30 different languages. It is still a great song in like every language. It still sounds really good. And
also, I feel like maybe it had to be like after they wrote the song, they were like, we have to get someone awesome to sing it. Because I'm like, also the fact that they got Idina Menzel. I always think of when John Travolta presented her with the award, and he goes, the award goes to Adele Nazim. That's not her name. It was just so awkward. But Idina Menzel, who is a Broadway star, to sing that song, like they had to know. They knew. When
the one Disney exec listened to just that for 2 weeks straight, and basically forced them to change the movie to fit it in.
Pipes in to sing that. Which, thank you, Disney. Even though I love Emma Watson, but you casted Emma Watson in the fucking Beauty and the Beast remake, and she's great, but just get a fucking singer. Get someone from fucking Broadway. There's even actors out there who sing. You could have done better. Do better.
You're just telling like the biggest company on the planet with billions upon trillions of dollars. They obviously know how to print money.
Okay.
And you're telling that company to do better.
To quote the legendary Shania Twain, that don't impress me much. Do better. I don't give a fuck how much money you have. If you got that much money, you can do better. Plain and simple. It was also the highest earning film with a female director in terms of U.S. earnings, but it was surpassed by Warner Brothers Pictures' Wonder Woman. So, good on ya, Warner Brothers, because the DC universe has been questionable at best.
What is it?
Many years.
Birds of Prey is flopping.
I heard it was really good. I heard a lot of people liked it.
It's not doing well financially speaking anyways. It's not doing well in theaters right now.
Sucks.
I think everybody's just been scorned by DC in the past. Their last couple movies have not been that great.
I don't know, because it feels like every time they reboot stuff, everybody goes and sees it. And they did give us The Dark Knight
trilogy.
Lest we not forget one of the greatest Batman trilogies. So they sometimes they get it right.
Not often.
Oftentimes they don't get it right. But this is not a DC episode, but we are going off on a tangent, and that's okay. But now I forgot what I was gonna say.
Well, bring it back to Frozen.
All right. Well,
any other fun facts?
No, those were all the ones that I decided to get because it's. I feel like everybody has to know fun facts about this movie by now.
Let's do some random questions that aren't exactly Frozen based, but
okay. You're always way better with the questions.
Let It Go was arguably one of the biggest Disney songs ever written. So, what is your favorite Disney song?
Oh, my favorite Disney song? Colin, that's a really big question.
Putting you on the spot, and you have to pick one. You cannot say I like this one, or this one. Pick one. Go. Don't take too long to think, because we don't got all day.
Can I give you two?
One.
Two.
One. Come on.
Reflections from Mulan.
Okay. Good pick.
But it also ties with Almost There from Princess and the Frog.
Well, that one doesn't count because you said it second.
Yeah,
so.
Well, Reflections it's always been my jam.
My favorite is also a Mulan song.
I'll Make a Man Out of You.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, I mean that whole soundtrack is just it was a winner.
It's mysterious as Pink Floyd's Dark Side of the Moon.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean it has so many good songs.
Favorite Disney princess?
It used to be when I was younger it was Ariel. But now I'm not sure.
It's a lot more to pick from.
Yeah, it's there's so many more. I think Myrta has become one of my faves. Probably her right now. I don't know. I feel like it changes often. What about you?
Mulan, I already said she's got the highest kill count.
She's not a princess. Pick an actual princess. Who would be your actual princess favorite?
Mulan.
Nope. Nope, because you tried to force me to give you one answer for the other question.
I don't know. I'd have to probably say Myrta then because she's also about ass kicking.
Yeah, she's pretty badass.
Yeah.
Okay. Favorite Disney prince? Do you even know the princes?
Nope. So Kristoff.
Yeah, technically. I mean, they're getting married. Yeah.
He had a sense of humor.
Yeah, he's very fun.
Yeah.
I think he would probably be my favorite.
Yeah.
He seems real.
I'd drink a beer with him.
Yeah. As opposed to the other ones. Like, because the other ones, I mean, obviously you see them through, like, the princess's eyes.
What's his name from The Princess and the Frog?
Naveed.
He was kind of in his own little world, though.
Prince Naveen. Yeah, he was kind of conceited, and I didn't really like it. I get that by the end of it, like, he kind of changed. But, like, you don't change your whole character in, like, one night. So, I think she was too good for him. But that's my own personal opinion.
Never mind.
What?
Never mind.
Okay. Give me another question. I'm putting you on the spot now. Give me like two more questions and we can call it.
2 more questions?
2 more questions.
Oh, boy.
I'll try, maybe if I can do something first.
All right. From the first Frozen movie.
Okay.
What was your favorite joke that Olaf told?
My favorite joke that he
or just favorite scene involving him?
Oh, boy. I kind of put them all out of my mind.
This question's coming back for part 2, by the way.
Yikes! I mean, I can very clearly give you my favorite second one.
Yeah, don't give me a part 2 answer.
Oh, I don't even know. It's not even an Olaf line. It's a Kristoff line. It's when, after he sings the song about summer, and he's like, someone's got to tell him.
Oh, where he says, I'll do whatever snow does in summer.
Yeah, after he sings the song, and, obviously snow fucking melts in summer, but Olaf doesn't know that. And Kristoff's like, someone's got to tell him. I'm going to tell him. And Anna's like, no. And then she, like, walks away, and her and Olaf and everybody walks away, and he's like, I'm going to tell him. I just thought it was very, very funny. So that would be my favorite Olaf scene, and it's not even anything Olaf said. How about you?
The knocking one.
The door one.
Yeah.
It is pretty funny.
Yeah.
I'll give you that.
Just knock. Just knock. Does she not know how to knock?
What's your favorite Disney song?
We already did this one.
Oh yeah. Did you say? Oh,
I
you
said
did.
make a man out of you.
I told you I'm bad at questions.
We can probably just end it here.
Okay. Because you don't want to think of anything else.
Yeah.
All right.
And we're going on like an hour already.
Ooh, this is a long one.
So I don't know if you're like doing laundry or something, but they're probably done by now. It's probably all done, folded.
Maybe we help them with like multiple chores
Probably
today.
even put the laundry away.
I'm good because we don't do that here, and that's not a joke, guys. Like legitimately, someone please come help do our laundry.
We're buried in it.
We won't pay you, but
exposure. It'll be great exposure for you.
Great exposure. Exposure definitely.
It'll
pays
bring
the bills.
so much more business to you to do future laundry.
Exactly. We will tell all of our friends about you. Word of mouth. It works so well.
I have like 200 followers on Instagram. I'll make a post about it.
Yeah, I mean, people seem to like this podcast. We'll plug you here.
I think we have over 100 likes now.
Yeah.
This is episode 6. We record this in the future, by the way, so who knows how many likes we actually have by the time this goes live.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, because we filmed a lot of them in a short amount of time to give you guys quality, consistent content. You're welcome.
So please give the page a like.
Yes.
If you have anything to add to the discussion, add it in the comments.
Yeah, we'd love to hear your thoughts on the movie.
Share the episodes around to other parents that are forced to watch these movies.
Or, I mean, caregivers.
You don't even have to have kids.
You really don't. I mean, some of them I think you probably would not know if you don't have a kid like Dino Dana. I don't think many people
You're not going to go out of your way to watch that by yourself.
Are watching Dino Dana.
A 40-year-old man just being like, let's turn on Dino Dana.
Yeah, but I think more so like the movies and stuff, probably a lot more people have seen. Obviously Power Rangers was our first one. But yeah, feel free to share it with people that you think would like it. We do have an email if you want to email us, if you're
suggestions.
Yeah, if you're a fucking boomer and you want to fucking email us, you can do that. Otherwise, you can comment, send us a message on Facebook. If you know us, you can text us. You can
Facebook message.
Call us, I guess.
Email. Snail mail.
I'll probably make a Twitter. Hopefully it'll be up. This is the 6th episode, so I really hope it'll be up by the time this comes out. You can go over there and you can tweet us. Yeah, but and again, always taking suggestions of things that we should watch. So, thank you for listening. We'll be back with part 2.
Try not to go crazy watching Frozen for the 4,000th time this week.
Well, it's okay. Frozen 2's out on digital now, so...
Well, we had to buy it, technically. Didn't you have to purchase it?
I said on digital, not on Disney+. The digital copy that you can you can buy off of, like...
Where did you get it? Amazon?
Services? Yes, I got it off of Amazon. So if you're tired of watching the first one and you want to watch the substantially better one...
How much did it cost?
Well, I got the one with the bonus content, which is like it's apparently like 2 hours of bonus content. It was $20.
We gotta watch that bonus content.
Yeah, but yeah. So we'll be back next week to talk about that and maybe some of the bonus content. Who fucking knows? We just kind of do things.
Every Wednesday, new episode.
Thanks.
Listen or else.
Bye.